Please welcome Chief Customer Officer, Salesforce Industries, LaShonda Anderson Williams.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Are you all excited to be in the room with us today? Awesome. Well, welcome to the Life Sciences Keynote. We are so excited to have you here with us today. Before we begin, I want to start with a moment of gratitude. I want to say thank you to our customers, our partners, our trailblazers, the entire community. We're so appreciative of your contributions to life sciences and ultimately patients. And that's why we're here. We share the same collective goal to improve health for everyone, our families, our friends, our communities, and ultimately ourselves through innovation, research, and collaboration. Though we made progress, I think if we're honest, we still have too many roadblocks we're facing. There's long approval processes, long clinical trials, and critical data that's often needed. It's siloed and hard to access. We have external factors, we have patent cliffs, we have tariffs, and not to mention a healthcare workforce that's still extremely stretched. And clinicians, you're still filling out forms just to get the information you need to be able to help patients. All of that increases the cost of care. And guess who pays the price? Patients do. These challenges are not new to many of you in this room. What is new is this once-in-a-generation opportunity we have before us. We have an abundance of data, scientific progress, and the rise of agentic AI, which will fundamentally change everything we do in this industry. Now imagine this for a moment. If we could accelerate clinical trials to therapies in the market faster, what if, as a patient, you didn't have to be patient anymore? And as a medical professional, what if you had everything you needed in a single agentic platform across clinical, medical, and commercial? Now, transformation never comes at the perfect moment, we know that. And it's never easy to step into the next wave of technology, and often the easy choice is to wait. But history shows us, those who wait end up falling behind. And falling behind in this industry means that patients have to wait even longer. Those who lead now, going first and fast, will redefine the future of healthcare and life sciences for decades to come. We're also all aware that the speed of technology is outpacing the speed of adoption. This is a moment for us to reimagine our processes, our mindsets, the entire operating model, and how we can accelerate research, patient engagement, as well as provider, and bringing therapies to those who need them more. Now, those of you who have been in this audience with us, we've been talking about life sciences and CRM, and those of you that have been in this industry, we know today CRM is a system of record. That's the legacy version of what we've been dealing with. This industry has said that's not acceptable, that's not good enough. This industry is demanding, and I would say deserves, a system of action where we can reimagine the entire value chain. We can reimagine clinical trials, patient support services from the ground up, as well as medical affairs. Now, I want to be clear when we say CRM, we're not talking about an upgrade in what we're bringing to you. This is actually going to be the operating backbone for the next innovation that will fuel life sciences for decades. And at Salesforce, we have the platform that will enable you to have the entire C360 and bring you into the Agentic Enterprise. And our commitment at Salesforce has never been stronger or deeper. And we're going to show you exactly what that looks like today. You're not just going to hear from me, you're going to hear from my colleagues who have decades of experiences. And let me be clear, we all can, I think, agree, there's only one true successful measure in this industry. It's getting safe and effective medicines and devices to those who need them most. So to share with you how we're bringing this innovation to life, I want to welcome my colleague and good friend, Frank DeFish, SVP and GM of Life Sciences.
All right. Thanks so much, LaShonda. Can you hear me? Okay, wonderful. Now, some of you in the audience may feel that Salesforce is new to life sciences. So I want to start by clarifying something important. Salesforce has been the foundation for engagement in life sciences for well over a decade. When we set out to build Life Sciences Cloud, we knew we had an ambition to really transform how things are done, right? So when we started building life sciences, we looked at AI and data and applications and leveraged the deeply unified platform to put them together. Now, Salesforce has been building industry-specific products for over a decade, each complete with capabilities, compliance, and agents unique to that industry. Take, for example, Salesforce Financial Services Cloud, right? It supports thousands of financial institutions with deep industry-specific capabilities. Or Health Cloud, as a leader in patient services for provider networks. Now, our journey in life sciences started with a hybrid approach. We provided solutions for patient engagement, marketing and digital, call center, data consolidation, while working alongside a trusted partner whose life sciences CRM was built on the Salesforce platform. So you see, the Salesforce has been that foundation for engagement for 17 years. But we're just getting started, right? Salesforce does over $2 billion in life sciences already, and we're more invested and committed than ever. We've built an out-of-the-box, fit-for-purpose solution, complete with capabilities, best practices, compliance, and agents, all on a deeply unified platform, connecting clinical, medical, and commercial as we charge towards the future. And now, on behalf of the entire team at Salesforce, it's my honor to announce that Life Sciences Cloud for customer engagement is generally available. Thank you. Been waiting a long time to say that. Now, over 80 organizations have seen what is possible with Life Sciences Cloud and have already chosen it. Companies, early adopters that are closely partnering with us are here today, and I want to take a moment to thank Takeda, Pfizer, AbbVie, Haleon, Fidia, Tandem Diabetes. These incredible companies represent the full breadth of the industry, from biopharma to medtech to consumer health. Haleon, for example, is partnering with us, hi Kelly, to reimagine and improve how the industry works with pharmacies. These outstanding organizations have shaped our product and our ongoing roadmap as we charge towards an agentic future. Now, many of you, as you evaluate your future engagement platform, many of us still have that same old model in our heads. An iPad application where reps log calls, display content, capture signatures, a static system of record. We have that, but the world has changed. And with it, expectations. That's no longer good enough. Innovation isn't about doing the same thing. It's about transforming how business is done to do it in a better way. And to power that transformation, that's not what's inside of the app. The power comes from the intelligence that powers the app. This is where our end-to-end engagement system and our deeply unified platform, enriched with deep industry data, brings this to life. Here, sales, marketing, medical, patient services, key account management, clinical, don't operate in silos. All data sets are connected. All experiences are orchestrated. Each message shaped by insight, delivered with purpose, and felt personally. An HCP shouldn't have to start its conversation over every time it switches a channel or a stakeholder. This is connected. This is intelligent. This is human. This is the future of life sciences engagement, and it's available today. So to help me bring it to life, I want to welcome my good friend Joe Ferraro up to the stage. Joe, thank you.
All right. Oh man, the energy in this room is phenomenal. I spent some time walking around before the show with old colleagues, partners, early adopters, our design partners. It feels like a family reunion, honestly. But this is just the beginning. So as Frank mentioned, when we first started out on this journey, we said we were not going to build just another CRM system. And 2 years later, we GA'd on this past Monday, we did not deliver just another CRM system. As Frank mentioned, this is a deeply unified platform, going from data to insights to action, with humans and agents working together. This is absolutely incredible. But it all starts with the data. So from our amazing data partners like Viz.ai, IQVIA, H1, zero copying their data into Data Cloud, and then Data Cloud's semantic layer picks that up and turns that data into insights so that humans and AI agents have context. This is absolutely incredible, but it doesn't stop there. We can't stop just at the insights. We need to go from insight to action, and that's where the full power of Life Sciences Cloud is brought to bear. So we're building a unified data model, a unified set of workflows and business processes for personas across the value chain. And the best way to tell a story like this is to be able to take our pharma company, Makana Pharma, who is tracking an oncology product launch and wants to be able to detect care gaps at the point of care and be able to intervene with engagement that's hyper-personalized. So I've got my friends here, Andrea and Kristen, who are going to walk us through this demonstration. So let's start with our oncologist, Dr. Bailey. So Dr. Bailey is treating a patient with advanced gastric cancer, okay? And she wants to understand what she needs to be thinking about when she's going to be prescribing Immunexus, our new oncology drug, for somebody that's going on to second-line treatment, okay? So she visits the Immunexus brand site here, and this brand site has information that's all powered by Life Sciences Cloud. She pulls up the Immunexus AI agent, and she asks, what do I need to be thinking about for my patient who's got going on second-line treatment for advanced gastric cancer? What are the prior auth requirements? What are the payer requirements? And our AI agent responds with some prior auth background, but also a key point of information for her, that all treatments need to happen at an approved site of care. This is important for Dr. Bailey because she knows Charles Green, her patient, has limited mobility. So she asked the AI agent, hey, can you just send me that list of approved sites? I need that in my inbox, and I want to be able to print that out, and I want to hand it to my patient. Every single one of these interactions on this platform is a signal for Makana Pharma that's flowing right into Data Cloud in real time and allows Makana's teams to be able to respond at scale with hyper-personalized engagement. So why don't we switch gears here over to Slack, and we can show what these Makana teams are doing here in the background. So as you can see, we have a Slack channel, Immunexus HCP engagement. We've got a cross-functional set of stakeholders. We're all working together, from FRMs to key account managers. And what's great is we have this inline Tableau dashboard that's showing us an important piece of information. We're looking at engagement rates for oncologists. And what we see here is that HCPs with care gaps above 35% are showing very low engagement. And it's very likely that Dr. Bailey falls into this cohort of patients. So this insight is great, but again, we have to be able to go from insight to action. So what we can do is we can call in our Agentforce Life Sciences AI agent here to generate an action plan. And what is an action plan? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a tool for our home office users to be able to coordinate engagement cross-functionally at scale. So if you need to schedule field visits or you need to generate a marketing campaign, that's what an action plan is for. And so we can preview that action plan here directly in the flow of work. We can see here that there's tasks across different functions, and we can activate that action plan. So once that action plan is activated, let's switch over to our field rep, Jessica, who's on her iPad. Or we can go back to Slack as well, if we want. We like Slack, but let's get to the iPad. All right. So Jessica is an active participant in this action plan, okay? She's received a notification that she needs to act on, but when she gets on her iPad, she can see front and center, we've got Agentforce with predefined prompts for her, like what does my day look like, who should I meet with next? She's got her visits mapped out, she's got her next best customer, she's got embedded analytics, she's got all of this information. But really, she just wants to interact with Agentforce here and just get an overview of her day. So what we can see here is Agentforce gives her a summarization of the day. But the important thing that I want to call out here is that Agentforce is calling out to Jessica that Dr. Bailey recently had an interaction with the Immunexus brand site and was asking about treatment and payer requirements for second-line treatment for Immunexus. So that conversation that happened 24 hours ago is already in her insights that Agentforce is delivering to her as she gets ready for that visit. All right. So as she goes to get ready for that visit, she can access a personalized insight or set of insights that we call stories, and she can access those visually, or she can listen to a personalized podcast as well.
Good morning. Let's kick off this week with a quick recap. Here's an important update from your territory. Patient support enrollments are trending up. Your meeting with Dr. Allison Brown is on Monday at 9 a.m.
All right. So she's all ready for a conversation with Dr. Bailey. And when she's on site, she presents personalized content to Dr. Bailey about supporting those patients through gastric cancer on Immunexus. And she goes and educates Dr. Bailey on the Immunexus Care Program, and she calls out the benefits to her patients, whether that's streamlining the prior auth process, copay, being able to coordinate care. And when she's done with that conversation, she has really two options. She can either manually fill out that visit report, and that's the model of the last 10 to 15 years, or she can dictate the summary of her conversation with Dr. Bailey using voice to visit. And what's amazing about this is Agentforce is taking that unstructured description of that visit and turning that into a structured visit report. But it's not stopping there. It's also calling out some compliance language that needs to be updated. It's flagging a medical inquiry. And it's calling out for any follow-up activities that need to occur after this particular visit. So she's all done now, and she can go on with her next visit without having to even open up a visit report. So this is absolutely incredible. We've gone from an interaction with a brand site from an HCP who's interested in trying to get her patient onto Immunexus for second-line treatment to an action plan at scale that's addressing a whole cohort of HCPs that might be treating patients with care gaps, all the way to a hyper-personalized visit here with Dr. Bailey, all on one unified platform. All right, so we have one of our earliest adopters here with us today, and I want to welcome Kirsten Busick up and Dr. Matthias Tyson to talk about how Fresenius is moving the needle and driving towards better patient outcomes on Life Sciences Cloud.
I'm ready.
All right. So, Fresenius Kabi was one of the early adopters. Actually, let me say it differently. You were the first to commit to Life Sciences Cloud for customer engagement. And you did it before you really got to go deep into the product. So why could you commit so early?
I think Joe and Frank just showed it. I mean, it's a quite impressive product, and we had the sense that this is going to be like that. So I think we were quite confident. But to tell you a little bit the story, I think we have to go a step back. So at Fresenius, we have decided roughly 3 years ago, with Future Fresenius, our new strategy, we have to reset the company. We pretty much have to completely rethink of how we operate, but also where we play. So we did that, and one integral part of that strategic move was looking at our commercial approach. So how do we go to the market? And here, clearly, we focused on our customer engagement, because the customer and eventually the patient, that's the core of what we're doing. So that was for us the natural starting point. We initiated a global commercial excellence campaign and start with the CRM. If you look at our company, as it is stand up right now, we have multiple CRM systems and a completely scattered and isolated setup. So we said that's something we have to fix. At the same time, Salesforce said the Life Science Cloud, it's called now Agentforce Life Science. I'm just learning the new wording. So you change it too often, Frank.
It's not him, so.
Yeah, no, okay.
Don't blame
So
Frank.
I take it back. Anyhow, so we said, there's something in the industry moving. So it's a really right point in time to do it. Just there's an internal, external element. We could have for sure waited at the sideline, played defense. And I must say, we as a company often really did wait a bit. We saw how are others moving, what are their decisions. This time we said, no longer. It's not time to wait. We heard it before. It's time to act. So we said, we want to be industry first. We want to be at the forefront. And we want to have the opportunity also to shape the solution, which we just saw recently. So that's another reason we did it. And then on top of that, there's a design partnership. So we had the pleasure to work with Frank and the team in order to shape this product at the end. With a few selected companies, we were working pretty much on the final modifications of the product. And to be honest, also our complexity when it comes to different businesses, from medtech to nutrition to pharma and biopharma products, also gave a lot of insight, I think, to the Salesforce team. So I think there was a good collaboration. So to put it in a nutshell, I would say the Life Science Cloud and Agentforce Life Science Cloud combination with Salesforce, our partnership, it very much stands as a symbol for what we're doing at Fresenius. Yeah. We're rethinking healthcare, we're putting the patient at the center of everything, and we want to create a platform that enables also new technology going forward.
I love that so much. The other thing I really love about it, let's give a round of applause for that. The other thing I really love about it is you just talked about the 4 very diverse businesses that you have at Fresenius, right? And that represents basically this entire room, right? We have medtech folks in here, we have pharma folks, biopharma, we have nutrition. And so as we talk about that, and you talked about the multiple CRMs that you had, all the countries that you're in, why is it so important to centralize and get that single view of your stakeholders?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very good question. I do think we do resemble pretty much all of the different parts of the industry you can see here. So we have operated in a very decentralized manner by business unit within a country, locally decided decisions for multiple decades, 2.5 decades roughly. And we realized while we were very successful in the past, that success formula no longer worked. So we had to adapt. So that was pretty much the starting point. We said we go on central big solutions, not just on the CRM, but also on other parts. When you look at our businesses, we have those 4 business units, as you say, and let's take one country. You could have a sales rep, a nutrition sales rep that talks to an HCP at a hospital on one day, and the next day the medtech sales rep wants to sell a pump to for nutrition, for an IV fluid, etc., talks to the similar, let's say, ward, maybe even to the same HCP, but doesn't even know about it. So you could have multiple interactions with your HCP, more or less in the same week, in the same months, without one company knowing it. But the customer doesn't know that we are organized like we are organized. The customer just perceives us as one company.
That's right.
And therefore, that was for us a starting point. We said that one we have to tackle. That's one. Then when you look at our product portfolio, we usually do global launches. So we bring products on a global scale into the markets. The majority of our products are introductions into a global frame. Currently, we are doing that completely unstructured because you have those, let's say, isolated individual systems. Therefore, now we think there's a unique opportunity to have a unified approach of how you can scale those launches, but also how you can run the campaigns thereafter and really deploy them at the moment. So that's another element. And then for sure also the topic of data. We have a data chaos, as probably the majority here to a certain extent have as well. We're working on fixing it, but we think that with this unified system, you really create that one customer-centric view, that understanding around the customer that really is going to make the difference at the end.
Yeah, love that. I think everyone in here can also just resonate with data chaos, right? I think as I've talked to customers around the room, when we talk about data, everyone's like, so I totally understand that piece too. So as we just go into our last question, I want to ask you a little bit of, you have this mission committed to life for kind of chronic and critical disease patients. As you're thinking about that, right, how are you thinking about all of those connected experiences? And then what signals are you kind of looking at to see, okay, is this going to start working?
Yeah, I love that question because I think the pleasure of our industry is we are all purpose-driven. So we don't have to talk about the purpose or invent the purpose or think, are we really having a purpose? This is natural in our genes and everything we're doing. This also holds true for Fresenius. So we not only are innovating, developing, and supplying products, we have a hospital system. So we operate Europe's largest hospital network, and we are giving the care. So we deliver the products and give the care to the patients. At the end, why do we do it? Because we're committed to those patients, to our HCPs, but at the end to the patient, or to deliver the best products with the best care. So why do I say that? That pretty much links it to what we're doing right now. With the Life Science Cloud, we have the opportunity to connect all of the information around our customer, understand them better, get a better understanding of the different sources, their needs, their wishes, in order to really have that combined picture to offer them the best support we can give them to enable them in serving the patient in the best manner. So that's what we say is committed to life.
Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks to the whole Fresenius team for being here. We're so proud to be partnering with you.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to bring my friend Joe back up.
Thanks, Kirsten. All right, so how do we bring this all home and back to patients, right? So I think this graphic on the screen pretty much represents most organizations in this room still today, unfortunately. We're still working in silos across the value chain, right? But our mission, our goal, is to bring these personas together around one unified single source of truth for the institution, for the HCP, and for the patient. And why do we do it? So that we can get patients on therapies faster and increase the quality of care. So let's bring this to life with another demonstration. So I have my friends Alicia and Eric here to help me. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up where we left off with Dr. Bailey getting her patient Charles Green on therapy. And what I want to do is I want to show you how Life Sciences Cloud can reach all the way into the point of care through the EHR to streamline the process of getting Charles on therapy. So here we are in the EHR. And so this is Dr. Bailey's view. Dr. Bailey's been educated on the payer requirements for Immunexus. She's written the script for Charles to get him on therapy. And when she writes that script right here in the EHR, she's going to get a notification from our amazing partner, Viz AI, who is letting us know that Charles Green is eligible for a patient support program. So first of all, can we all just recognize that this is a game changer? This is amazing, right? And so we have a QR code here, a personalized QR code that Charles, when he's sitting in the office with Dr. Bailey, can scan. And that's a personalized code. We all know how QR codes work sometimes, so let's go ahead and... Charles is having a little difficulty. All right, Charles. Good job. All right, so when he scans this QR code, he's taken directly to the Immunexus patient portal. But what's more is the Immunexus AI agent here, the enrollment agent, already knows who Charles is, okay? This is a really important note. So because that QR code is personalized, that AI agent has context. It understands that Charles Green is interested in enrolling in this patient support program. It understands that it needs to get consent from Charles Green. And so we can go back and forth here in this conversation to get Charles onboarded. So no fumbling around for passwords or trying to find websites that are difficult to access. We've got a personalized onboarding experience for this patient. We can even go so far as to schedule the patient's onboarding call with the care coordinator as well, all in this hyper-personalized experience to onboard this patient, Charles. All right, so once Charles has gone through the onboarding process, let's go ahead and switch gears and pick up with the care coordinator to bring this all home, okay? So the care coordinator is running on Life Science Cloud as well. And this is the view that she has, right? She sees all of her tasks, all of the patients that are incoming, all the new enrollments. She's got KPIs, she's got metrics for all the programs that she's supporting. And what she sees in the top right is a notification. And that notification is telling her that she's got a new enrollment for Charles Green. So let's go ahead and click into that. And what we see here is the care program is already advanced to the benefits verification stage because we've already gotten consent from Charles. And so it's intelligently guiding the care coordinator through the onboarding process. And we also see all of the data that Charles provided in that onboarding process has already been mapped to his record, right? So we're really streamlining the process of getting this patient on to this program. All right, now before we verify the benefits, let's go ahead and drill into Charles Green Unified Patient Profile. So when we talk about a unified profile, this is what we're talking about. All of the information that we have around Charles's care journey is mapped here on his record. All of the engagement data, the care information, his SMS, his EHR data, his engagements on patient portals, any barriers, any social determinants of health is all here available for the care coordinator. Now that's a lot of information, and there's gonna be more and more information coming, right? So the care coordinator can just pull up Agentforce and say, can you summarize this patient for me? What do I need to know about this patient to personalize their onboarding process? And here Agentforce steps in and is able to provide a concise summary to say, hey, this is Charles Green, this is his age, he's recently diagnosed with cancer, he's got mobility issues, and so the care coordinator can use this to really personalize that onboarding experience. Okay, so let's switch back over to Charles' onboarding record, and let's go ahead and verify his benefits. Now, I think we all understand benefits verification is probably the bane of most care coordinators' existence, and we are trying to eradicate this whole process altogether, but for now, we're streamlining it, okay? So let's go ahead and verify these benefits by selecting Andrea Bailey here as the oncologist, putting in our dosing information for Immunexus, picking our pharmacy. And because Life Sciences Cloud has integration with clearinghouses, we're able to do this in real time, right? To really streamline what is a back and forth tedious process for care coordinators. Now, once those benefits are verified, we've got a lot of information here, detailed line by line coverage for Charles, right? But again, Agentforce has taken another step and really synthesized the most important information for us as a care coordinator, right? So we understand the medication information, the benefits details at a high level, but then Agentforce has also called out that Charles Green might be eligible for a clinical trial, and that clinical trial is also managed on Life Sciences Cloud. And then it's also recommended that the care coordinator complete a quality of life assessment as well. So all of these inputs, all of these signals that we're capturing about the patient during the onboarding process or once they're onboarded to the program are all captured and collected, synthesized. These signals are going to insights that are making the program better over time. So we can do this at scale across thousands and thousands of patients, and ultimately we can affect a whole lot of lives positively. So what did we just see? We saw a very different type of CRM, right? We promised you we were not going to just build the CRM from the past. We're building a CRM from the future that's patient-centric, and we're starting all the way from HCP engagement, pulling that all the way through. All of these different actors, whether they're CAMs, FRMs, care coordinators, patients, are all actors on this unified platform. We're so excited to see what you all will do with this technology. And with that, I want to kick it over to a film about what Takeda is doing on Life Sciences Cloud. Roll the film.
All of the decisions that we make at Takeda really start with putting the patient's needs first.
We operate in therapeutic areas like oncology, GI, neuroscience, plasma-derived therapies. We've got to understand what patients are going through, their caregivers and their families are going through. These patients are really dealing with severe symptoms and they're overwhelmed with information.
Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, they want insights as quickly as possible so they can make the right treatment decision for the patient. We needed to make a choice. We could just shift and lift from the current platform, or we can totally reimagine customer experiences.
And that's where Salesforce comes in. We really want to be the leader when it comes to digital, data, and AI capabilities in this industry. We're going to be processing a lot more unstructured data, and with the expectation of doing it quickly in a very cost-effective way.
That's where Life Sciences Cloud was able to potentially bring those capabilities to life for us.
Salesforce is actively listening, tailoring its products and platforms to meet the needs of customers and patients of this industry.
Many of our reps visit around 15 healthcare professionals in one day, and there was about 12 different systems that a sales rep has to use on a daily basis. That's wild. One of the aspirations we have through the use of Agentforce and Life Sciences Cloud to reduce that down to as few systems as possible. We'd love that to be one.
We're dealing with very sensitive information. I don't think this industry can use that as an excuse to not offer that human-centered digital experience. And that's where AI comes in.
Data Cloud has enabled us to be able to structure that unstructured data and make it available to Agentforce. Life Sciences Cloud was very different to what we have today, and that's a good thing. Salesforce is trying to reimagine what the future of life sciences will look like.
With AI in mind, with patients at the center, we are going to transform our experiences and our engagements.
We truly get to make a meaningful difference in patients' lives.
Nothing like getting to hear your own voice before you have to talk to a huge audience.
I'm real.
Yeah,
This is not
exactly.
an agent.
I know.
I'm real.
And I was just watching Garth's face the whole time. So, no, thank you so much for being here, Samir. We're just so excited to have one of the stars of the film up on stage with us, right? So we just got to see a little bit about what Takeda is doing, and particularly kind of how you're thinking about that patient at the center innovation. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you're leveraging AI for all of that?
Well, thank you for having me as well. And it was great to see the video and how it came out. For those of you who are not aware, Takeda is a global data-driven, R&D-driven digital biopharmaceutical organization. And we've been around for more than 244 years. That's real. That's real. So there's a very long, rich history and heritage. And we operate in over 80 countries. But when it comes to AI, this is where the true opportunity is, and that's how we're transforming and rewiring the way we operate, all the way from research. It's looking for innovative medicine, differentiated science, and bring it to the patients as quickly as possible because the unmet need is so huge and the opportunity is so critical. And we see this also from a development perspective because the clinical trials are key. And we need to make sure that we find the right patients for the right trials in a very equitable way that will accelerate the development processes so we can bring the medicine faster to the patients around the world. But the go-to-market strategies when it comes to commercial customer engagement, medical strategies, and also the access frameworks are so critical because the markets are differentiated in the world. The medicine is the same, but the markets operate in very different ways. And we're really rethinking in terms of the experiences we can create, the strategies we can create to really create that go-to-market differentiation and make sure that our customers, our stakeholders are informed, they're aware of the information so they can focus more on the treatment for the patients and less time figuring out what the information really is. Manufacturing and operations and supply chain is also critical, and we're seeing tremendous automation and efficiency opportunities in those segments as well. So all in all, I think Takeda we're truly wired from a patient-first mindset and bringing that value back to the patient then trust, reputation. If we do those things right, the business will follow. That's what we believe in, and that's how we're approaching AI as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So speaking of that patient-first mindset, you have been partners with us for a pretty long time in the patient space. You are also one of the early adopters. You weren't first, you were third, but that's okay. You know, we won't hold that for you. Yeah. But you are doing some amazing things as you think about patient experiences and HCP experiences. Can you tell us a little bit more about kind of how you're thinking about that and what that looks like?
I think with AI and agents, really that opportunity is unlocked where we can't just keep using this as an excuse as an industry that we're regulated, it's very complex, we're special, and therefore our experience for a patient when they walk into for an appointment or for a healthcare provider cannot be the same as other industries. I think that time has changed because the expectation has changed. Our customers and patients are humans that are experiencing digital experiences, personalized experiences across industries. And that's why, you know, from a Takeda perspective, we're really taking this as an opportunity to take a step back and think through, we've been saying a lot about personalized experiences, data, you know, cleaning up. We also have data chaos, but the opportunity is with AI, unstructured data sets, we can truly create insights that lead to actions and decisions pretty quickly and pretty rapidly. That's why it's very exciting. And we see that impact. We see that, you know, across multiple CRMs, this is not just a CRM consolidation. This is truly a one Takeda mindset to bring that unified human experience for our stakeholders that truly move the needle and meet the needs, personalized needs of our stakeholders.
Awesome. So I've always been so impressed with how Takeda is such a trailblazer, not only on the platform and particularly around patient experiences, but also just across the industry. You've done some pretty incredible things. Can you tell me a little bit about how you think about adoption, how adoption's happening with all that innovation, and what are you most excited about?
Yeah, actually, you know, it was interesting, Frank mentioned early on, and it's a big week, Frank. It's finally out there. It's finally happening. But it's also true for us, too, that this is not new. Salesforce is not new to Takeda. We've been using, you know, experiences for our donors, for our patients, when it comes to patient services, when it comes to donor experience. Also, you know, Marketing Cloud, Data Cloud, these are products that we've been using along the way. And now I see that, you know, the opportunity is that it's an ecosystem play where we have with CRM, with marketing, with data, that ecosystem of connectivity, ecosystem that creates connectivity of data, where AI and agents can truly unlock the potential. That's very exciting. That's very exciting, and we're truly rooting for it. There's a long way to go, though. There's a long way to go because we really want to make sure that it's not just a technology and AI play, it's also a business harmonization and transformation opportunity. Because although there's different markets and different ways of doing things, but certain things could be done in similar and consistent ways in terms of processes. And that's where, you know, we're also, as Takeda, taking a step back, using this as an inflection point, leveraging AI and agents, and really transforming the way customer engagement and experiences work at Takeda, not just from a tech perspective, but also from a business perspective as well. And that's very exciting for us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Samir. Thank you to your entire team, and we're excited about the continued partnership. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit from the really important transformations and patient experiences to another really big nuanced challenge that we face here in life sciences. Content management, huh? Who's with me? Who wants to talk about content, right? So with that, we have been talking about the nuanced challenges, the speed to market challenges. LaShonda mentioned some of those earlier in the presentation. And content's just one of those spaces that is just slower than necessary. So I am honored to announce, and for some of you, you've been asking me this question for years, when are we going to get into the content space? And it is here. It is later next year. We will be announcing and launching regulated content management. So this is not about building another dam, right? This is about building content management for the next decade. Because as we all heard today, AI is going to really differentiate the way content has to get created. So this is really about thinking the breakthroughs in AI in content creation and personalization and MLR approvals, right? And bringing all of those things together so that we can ensure that every piece of content is not only compliant, but it's dynamic and it's ready to use with accurate information. And I would be remiss not to say that this also means that we're going to deeply invest in our network of partners and your chosen vendors and content, whether it be PromoMats, Box, OpenText, Vidori, Aprimo, that partner ecosystem, you've already made a lot of investments there, and we're going to continue to invest in those investments so that we're compatible and interoperable. So we've shown you a lot today. And with that, we are just so excited about the partnerships that we have in the room, the open ecosystem that we talked about. Everything that Joe and the amazing team demoed today is all because of our extensible platform. It's all because we have Data Cloud and MuleSoft to harmonize data and make that actionable and AI ready. It's because we have Marketing Cloud that can help continue the personalization. It's because we have Slack and we have Tableau that allow us to do very different ways of working with insight all around. But it's also because we have an amazing ecosystem of partners that I am so grateful to work with on a daily basis that are here supporting us, driving expertise, industry knowledge, and just the power of Salesforce as an entire community. And it wouldn't be without those partners that we wouldn't be able to deliver all of that today. So thank you to all of you and all of the support that you've given. With that, I want to talk about one more important innovation in AI, and I'm actually going to welcome up my friend LaShonda Anderson-Williams back to the stage and Dr. David Fagenbaum to talk about how EveryCure is transforming patient care with AI.
Come on up, David. Dr. David, you have an incredible story you're going to share with us. But for those in the room that don't know, Dr. David is the CEO of a nonprofit organization called EveryCure. And you are using AI to find new uses for existing medicines to save lives. And that's pretty, I think, commendable and exciting. But I think you have a personal story that you can share with us about how this came about. You've got TED Talks. If you haven't listened to him, it's an amazing TED Talk. So share with us a little bit about your personal and professional journey and how EveryCure was actually born out of it.
Well, thanks so much, LaShonda. Such an honor to be with all of you. So back in my 20s, I went from being a former college quarterback and a healthy medical student who was on a mission to become a doctor in memory of my mom. She'd passed away a few years before, to becoming critically ill with a disease called Castleman disease and nearly dying 5 times. I even had my last rites read to me. But I decided to turn my hope for a cure into action. And I discovered that there was a drug that was made for another disease that I thought could be repurposed to save my life, and began testing it on myself. And after nearly dying 5 times in 3 years, I've now been in remission for over 11 years. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is absolutely incredible. Now, you are using this technology and AI and really being what I would define as we like to call here at Salesforce a trailblazer. And when we talk about AI, there's lots of different, I think, scenarios people can think about operating models and how we can create efficiency. But you're using it to actually save the lives of not only yourself, but other people are actually being able to take advantage of the work and the mission your organization has. How do you build trust? Because there's a line of being comfortable with the technology, and there's a line of actually using it to save a life. Tell me how trust is built into your process at the organization.
Well, patient impact is just always first. I mean, ever since my life was saved by a drug that wasn't made for my disease, all me and my team can think about is how many more drugs are out there that could save and improve my lives. So patient impact is at the heart of everything we do. And we utilize artificial intelligence to scan across the world's knowledge of all 4,000 drugs, all 18,000 diseases, and the connectedness between them to determine what are the best opportunities to save lives that we can study in the lab, in clinical trials, and get them to patients. So even if it's not something that's financially viable because it's an old, cheap drug or a very rare disease, we're focused on making sure we can save every life possible.
Wonderful. Well, you've got a room full of leaders, and you just heard from 2 pharmaceutical leaders from some of our customer base and a number of members around the audience. They are here to help, but what do you foresee around the future of AI and what we should be getting excited about, Dr. David?
Well, I think we're really just scratching the surface. I mean, our dream at EveryCure is a world where every single drug that's approved is used to treat every single disease and every single patient that can possibly benefit from that drug. There are literally millions of lives that can be saved with the drugs that we already have that we're not utilizing. And we dream for this world where no one's ever told, we've tried everything like I was, when there's actually a life-saving drug sitting on the pharmacy shelf.
Amazing, amazing. As I started my presentation, we do this because of the work that the leaders in this room deliver life-saving drugs and therapies. Now, I have to say, what you just shared is really inspiring, and you are the definition of business really is the greatest platform for change. And we're so proud of the work you're doing. We're so impressed of your passion. I know it comes personally, but the lives you've been able to save has been actually incredible. I'm going to announce to you and the audience and those that will be tuning in on Salesforce Plus, Salesforce is going to donate to Every Cure, and we invite everyone in the room and everyone that's tuning in to, if you want to, please help. And there's so many opportunities. I love the work you're doing, you and your teams, and we're so appreciative that you shared your story and spending your time with us today, Dr. David. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Is everybody inspired? Like, are we changing the game here? I hope we are. You've heard some amazing stories. You've seen the demonstrations from some of our leaders. But more importantly, I hope you see that we are serious. We are committed to this industry. But more importantly, we are ready to help you get on your journey to the agentic era. We have everything you need. We have the Agentforce One SKUs unlimited with Data Cloud, with analytics, with Slack. But more importantly, we want to help you get into the agentic era and building the right tools. We have migration tools. You heard Kirsten talk about partners. We want to partner with all of you to bring you into this new world of life sciences that will absolutely have a demonstrable impact on not only your companies, but ultimately human lives. And then lastly, I'm just going to share, this is just a little glimpse of what we're bringing. And I think, Kirsten, you didn't say your part. You'd like to say we're bringing the heat. We're bringing the heat to the industry, folks. But we're bringing it in a way so that we can all have a better quality of life, and we can leverage the innovation and the technology that all of you are delivering. And Salesforce is absolutely committed to your success. Check out our sessions, our workshops, our demos. They're defined by clinical, commercial, and medical. Get involved, and we hope you have a great rest of your Dreamforce. Thanks, and have a great rest of your week.